Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Raiders Daily. My name is Jackson, and I'll post daily Raiders content, so hit that like button, hit that sub button. Today, we're going to be continuing our series of going through every single positional group for the Raiders and just dissecting it. And today, we have the offensive line, and this is just a highly ridiculed positional group. They were highly ridiculed last year. I mean, it definitely wasn't not granted. I mean, 28 out of 32, that is not a good offensive line. And to me, while the Bengals, especially this past year, showed with at least just like an adequate enough offensive line, you could really, truly go pretty far. I really don't think they're that bad. And I know that they lost Denzel Good to retirement. I know Alex Leatherwood got waived last week. I know things may seem glim to some people, but genuinely, especially with the new coaching staff at helm, I really don't have any concerns. I really don't have any worries. You know, here's the Raiders' projected starting offensive line. You have Colton Miller, who a lot of people say he's the only proven piece on this offensive line at left tackle. Because of Denzel Good's retirement, you have John Simpson, who was definitely inconsistent last season at left guard. I think personally it's going to be Dylan Parham at left guard. You have Andre James at center. I view him as extremely adequate, very adequate. Lester Cotton Sr., this guy has really truthfully bounced around on the Raiders. They've cut him, they've signed him, they've done a little bit of everything. Lester Cotton is one of those guys to me where I really like his work ethic, and I really think he's just trying so hard to improve. And he's also super, everyone on this offensive line for the most part is extremely young. I mean, Lester, Alabama cat, I trust SEC Nick Saban coached players. Because, I don't know, call me old school, but like, I think Nick Saban is probably the greatest, college coach of all time. I don't know if that's actually, I don't watch too much college football. I don't know if that's like a hot take or anything, but to me, Nick Saban, as far as I'm concerned, is by far the greatest college coach of all time, or at least that I've seen with my two eyes. This man has dominated college football ever since I've been born. So I have faith that if the Raiders believe in Lester Cotton, why would I not? Why would I not? And then you have Jermaine Aluminor, who actually has been the confirmed right tackle, starting right tackle. I actually think that's the confirmed offensive line, but don't quote me on that. I don't want to spread false news. I do think Parham will eventually become a starter at left guard specifically, or right guard even. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, though, John Simpson is the confirmed starter at left guard for Week 1 against the Chargers. Jermaine Aluminor has been getting nothing but praise. He's a guy who also is not old. He's not necessarily young. 27 years old to me is like the perfect age for football players, because you've been out of college for a couple of years, so you have a couple of years experience in the league, but you're also not too old where you're at the end of your prime. You're essentially just starting your prime at 27 years old. And I think that Jermaine is going to be a solid football player for the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's the thing, man. And before we actually get any further into this video, I forgot to mention this. If you guys enjoy it, hit the like button, hit that sub button. My video yesterday got like 1.1k likes. It's just absolutely crazy. I'm still going to say let's try and get 100 likes on this video, but we're like 100 subs away from 5,000. I'm so blessed. I'm moving tomorrow, and you guys are making this move a lot less stressful, that's for sure. So let's get back into it. With the Raiders offensive line, another big thing is coaching staff. I think the coaching staff needs to be accounted for. I mean, there's definitely, I'm not trying to, throw some blame on the coaches in general last year, but as far as the way things are moving with Josh McDaniels right now and the new regime in Las Vegas, I just think things are moving a lot more. They're just moving more effortlessly. It's just a lot more efficient. I like the way that they look in games. I just feel like they're a really well-coached team, and it's top to bottom. It's not like, okay, yeah, they're well-coached at the quarterback. They're just, Josh McDaniels, to me, he learned so much not only in his tenure with Bill Belichick with the New England Patriots, but I think he learned so much with the Denver Broncos, his very brief, very failed head coaching career that got started off not too long ago, a little less than a decade ago, with the Denver Broncos. I mean, I just think he learned so much on coaching people. I think he learned a lot about himself and how you just truthfully, just good life advice in general, like always be yourself. That is like number one, day old, like just always be yourself. Even if you're not Josh McDaniels and you're listening to this, just always be yourself, guys. Trust that. I feel like he learned so much because he got so low. You know, I feel like truthfully sometimes in life you need to go through those despairs. You need to go through those times in your life where everything just seems so doggy. Everything seems so doggy, and that's kind of the way things ended in Denver with Josh McDaniels. So I just know he learned so much, and he's had a great mentor in Bill Belichick in general. So if they trust this offensive line, I feel okay with it. And you gotta keep in mind, man, rosters are built in 52 weeks. They're not just built in the offseason, and they have plenty of cap space. You know, I believe the number right now is $18 million. They have plenty of cap space where if you need to sign a Darrell Williams, you can go sign a Darrell Williams. If you need to sign like an older offensive lineman who has veteran experience but he's just old, you know, they have the money to do that. I've been seeing a lot recently that they possibly could make some trades. I've seen a bunch of stuff about the Raiders' offensive linemen could change come week one, or at least a little down the season. Before we get into that, I do want to say as well, one guy I didn't even mention, the bench squad or second string, third string, Thayer Munford Jr. out of Ohio State in this past year's draft. I know he was like picked at the tail end of the draft, but I think the way Thayer, from what I saw at camp and what I saw in preseason, he looks like he wants it so freaking badly. And whether it happens this season or next season or in 3 years or by the time he's off of the Las Vegas Raiders, I actually have full faith that Thayer Munford Jr. will be a super quality offensive lineman in the NFL. And like I said, you know, Dylan Parham, to me, getting him in the third round out of Memphis, I think that was just truthfully a great get. I've seen some projections of him at right guard. I've seen some projections of him at left guard, but it seems like they're going to go with Simpson at left guard, starting left guard for the first day. I also really want to make sure it's known that Dylan Parham will be, I think, in my opinion, I don't think this is a hot take, but maybe it is, that by some point relatively soon after the start of the season, he should be somewhere starting. Like, the fact you're able to get that amount of talent in the third round, to me, I mean, what a steal by the Raiders. And I think that'll be apparent by the end of the season. So my prediction for this Raiders offensive line as it stands right now, just assuming they're not going to make any signings, assuming that they're not going to make some of these trades that I've been seeing recently, which I'd be all for some trades. I'd be all for some signings. I want to let the record show. I do just want to say I would imagine my prediction for the Raiders is I imagine they will be somewhere middle of the pack around 16. So that's my thought. Let me know what you guys think about the Raiders offensive line down below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as always, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.